jump into fuel for thought because we kind of touched on it a little bit in just our general conversation tonight. But fuel for thought is going to be let's talk about what do we make of this Ford Penske resurgence, if you will. I mean, we talked about Ford the last couple of weeks, but let's talk specifically about Penske now because I feel like when we talked about the racing rundown, this is my fault. We didn't give my boy Austin Cindric his due, man. Like he got it done, man. Got win number 2, and we had talked on this show about the flagship Penske car, kind of struggling a little bit, and he gets number 2 now. I think some people had to have some trouble, but let's be honest, he ran up front pretty much. He qualified good, so I'm not going to take anything away from him, and he was there when it mattered. But what do you guys think about this resurgence? We know it's a podcast, so we can declare things and say Penske's back, Ford's back. But what's your thought?
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Penske, and I think they're going to run up front for the rest of the season. They might not win a whole bunch of races, but they're going to run up front. They're going to win a few. And I have my opinions on Cindric, and I don't want to be a hater, but I'm glad to see him win, and I would honestly like to see him win a couple more races this season, or he was definitely on the hot seat, and I think that this win unfortunately kept him in that 2 car. Yeah. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Penske, and he won, but at the expense of his own teammate. It sucks. It was a good day and a bad day for Penske at the same time, and I'm glad to see Penske running up front. That's where they should be.
I just think I'll give credit where credit is due. Cindric came to work. He qualified good. He had a great car all day. He'd been up front, though Christopher Bell probably had the best car, no doubt. Blaney probably had a little bit more, but I think if Cindric had the track position and had the clean air, yeah, he would have been up there, no doubt about it. I mean, it just wasn't like he wasn't up there all day. That to me, it wasn't like Penske wasn't up there all day. Joey, Brad, Blaney. I mean, well, not Brad, Cindric. Oh my God,
that's okay.
Well, Brad was up there too. I did at the expense of a strategy, but yeah, I mean Ford. I mean, it was. I just think it was a statement win on his part to prove, hey, I belong at Penske. I can still drive this car. All I needed was a little bit more speed, and I think it's an A+ example why we love racing. You can't count it out. You can't count anything out until the checker flag drops. And I mean, Blaney won at Charlotte in 2018 by a gift, and he gave Austin Dillon a gift yesterday. So, I mean, it's a sport of give and take, and that's what happened yesterday. And I just got to say, Austin drove the wheels off of it and was in the right place in the right time. And I mean, you hate it for Blaney, but that's just the way racing goes.
Look dominant, but yeah, I really I think Ford's back, man. I do, and they got it figured out, and that thing looks bad fast, and the drivers are getting confident, and Austin, Thomas, I will say, like, the thing about Austin Cindric is, I watched him in the Xfinity series for a couple years and really be dominant at that time too, and he showed a lot of savvy on all the courses, all the road courses, and speedways, super speedways, short track. So I mean, dude's super talented. They say he's a grinder, man. I don't know, but they just say he is a grinder. He works hard at his craft. So it's good to see that rewarded. And like I said, man, he's one that if he gets a little confidence and that team gets to gelling, maybe we are talking more about that flagship car at Penske. And it would be cool to see, because, for the last few years, man, it's been Joey and Brian, leading the charge. And it'd be interesting to see the dynamic in the Penske camp if Austin Cindric gets rolling pretty good. So we'll have to see, man. But if you're a Ford fan right now, you're loving life, I think.
Yeah, but let's not forget with Austin Cindric as well. Beginning of the season, man, he was qualifying within the top 10. He qualified second at Daytona. He qualified third at Las Vegas, and he qualified ninth at Richmond. So I mean, it's there. I just think it's just not the power of execution just wasn't there, and he just happened to be in the right place in the right time. But he is qualifying majority in the top 10, top 5, and where he wants to be at.
Yeah.
He put himself in the position to win that race. He worked hard. He put himself in position to win that race. And I don't want to take that from him, but this was his second top 10 finish of the season and his first win in 80 some races.
Yeah.
So he's had some serious struggle, and I would really like to see him succeed, this season and on to the next seasons if he does stay in that 2 car, which I think we all think he will. But I would love to see him succeed.
Yeah, I mean, the only other driver I'm not really too concerned about and who I think can pop off at any time is Joseph Logano. So not really too worried about Joey. I think Joey, I mean, that was a morale boost at North Wilkesboro. And I mean, I still think, and I said at the beginning of this podcast, that Joey can get in the playoffs and win. I mean, we don't. We don't have another well, we had Daytona coming up before the playoffs. So I definitely think he can go to Daytona and win it. I think any Ford can go to Daytona and win it. And I think Joey will pop off in the playoffs. I think Penske will pop off in the playoffs just like they've done years past.